Hey everybody, and welcome to Marvel Champions Experience. And finally, we have some news on something new in the game. Thank you. All right, but before we get to that, would always appreciate if you consider liking this video, and if you truly like this content, please think about subscribing, and as always, drop a message down in the comments below. Let me know what you think about this release. Are you hype? Are you not hype? Do you have questions? Let me know. But enough of that. Let's get to this. Wow, man, I am a couple hours late on this. I was trying to be a good dad. Took my daughter to the park, multiple parks, but I saw this pop up online. I was like, oh, I want to go home. I want to go home. But I did the right thing. I stood out. I dadded. And now we're back taking a look at this. And here we are. Just announced NeXt Evolution. And there we go. So if you've been following the little Twitter teasers, you saw the brick wall, right? You'll have noticed, you definitely noticed it was Cable, right, in that silhouette. And they showed it was Cable. Then you definitely kind of saw it was Domino. And I, kind of figured based on that it was going to be a campaign, and here we are. So let's take a look at it. I have not looked at it. I have not anything. So this is a full, I wouldn't say a live reaction because I'm not happening at 11 o'clock, but it is my first actual look at this. So let's see. I'm just going to read it out loud. I'm the Juggernaut. Ain't nothing, ain't nobody can beat me. Kane Marco. Something sinister lurks in the shadows, a looming threat that only a few are even aware of. A diabolical plot slowly takes form. Its goal something you can only guess at, but one thing is for certain. At the center of it all is a young, headstrong mutant, Hope Summers. For some reason, the villain's plans hinge on Hope, and she may be in over her head. Fantasy Flight Games is thrilled to announce the NeXt, with that X, I see what you did there, Evolution, the 6th campaign for Marvel Champions, the card game. In this expansion, the team of mutant heroes known as the X-Force arrives on the scene. Exclamation point. Squaring off against them are some of X-Force's most iconic foes, including the brutal Marauders, the unstoppable Juggernaut, and the ever-scheming Mr. Sinister. This expansion comes with 5 brand new scenarios, and as with 5 previous expansions, you can play each of these scenarios individually or as part of the larger campaign. NeXt Evolution also kicks off a new wave of playable X-Force heroes for the game, beginning with Cable and Domino, both of whom come fully pre-built and ready to play decks right out of the box. And within those decks, you'll find brand new card type, player side schemes. Interesting. All right, so let's see what we can read here. Can't really read it too well, but I'm going to try. We have Strife. Oh, that's definitely a Nemesis, I think so. Strife? Can't tell. Here's Cable to thwart, to attack, to defense. After Cable defeats a side scheme, ready him. Oh, I like that. Domino, can't fully read you, and I can't tell what Juggernaut's attack is. He's a 1. I'm going to assume he's a 3, but let's keep reading. All right. Suppressing Hope. The story of NeXt Evolution's campaign begins in the forgotten tunnels beneath New York City, where a group of shunned mutants known as the Murlocs are under attack by a vicious group of villains, the Marauders. So it looks like here are the Marauders, right? We have A sides. It looks like we've got a B side. Gray Crow. Do we have? All right. So it looks like there's only one B here for a reason. I'm not too sure why, but 2 scheme, 1 scheme. Can't read those. Let's keep reading. The first scenario, Murloc Siege, has you and your fellow heroes fending off the Marauders as they attack the Murloc tunnels underneath New York. Each Marauder has different strengths and abilities. For example, Arclight can confuse a character you control. Let's take a look at Arclight. So she has 10 health, 1 scheme, 1 attack, force interrupt. When Arclight attacks you or an ally you control, choose to either confuse a character you control or she gets +2 for this attack. All right, let me think about this one more time. When she attacks you or an ally, you can either have to confuse or she gets +2 attack. So that kind of sucks, but if she schemes, she does nothing. I mean, those don't trigger. Gray Crow can discard your highest cost ally. 1 scheme, 1 attack. When Gray Crow attacks you or an ally you control, discard the highest cost ally you control, or Gray Crow gets X attack for this attack, where X is the printed cost of the highest ally you control. 9 health, so Pretty strong if you play an ally heavy deck. Wait, pause. Highest card cost you control. Oh, my bad. You can either discard the highest card cost. I don't know what. Oh, got it. So you discard the highest cost card, the highest cost card you control. Each Marauder's activation presents you with a choice between two options, allowing different heroes to take on different approaches when defending against their attacks. As for the scenario itself, you'll have to defeat 3 random Marauders in order to claim victory, all while keeping your Murloc ally safe. 1 thwart, 1 attack. You have victory -1. Does not count against your ally limit. Card abilities cannot remove this ally from play. When an enemy attacks you, it attacks a Morlock. Did I say Murloc? I'm sorry. I said Murloc. I played WoW a lot back in the day. It attacks a Morlock you control instead. That kind of sucks. And you've only got 5 health. All right. You have to be careful, though, as each routed Marauder will power up the next one. This is an environment. Standard mode only. Cards under here are not in play. After the villain is defeated, put it under here. Discard each minion that shares a title with the top villain of the deck. Let me read this again. Discard each minion that shares a title with the top villain of the villain deck. The villain is in play. The villain activates against each player in player order. Got it. Making cards like Bolstered by Wrath. +1/+1. Attached to the villain. Exhaust a character you control and spend X resources of any type where X is the number of villains under routed. Yikes. Discard this card. This card gets +X boost icons where X is the number of villains under routed. Shut up. Let's go back to this one more time. Active villain is defeated. Put it under here. Discard each minion. Oh, man, that sucks. Yeah, so every time you defeat a minion, basically the next one gets stronger. And push to the limit stronger. +1 attack, attached to the villain. While there is exactly 1 villain under routed, attached villain gains steady. Lovely. Why not? While there's exactly 2 villains under routed, attached villain gains stalwart. Even better. Even better. Attached villain attacks you, discard this card. Okay, at least it only lasts for 1. Oh, it's a hero action. Attached villain attacks you, discard this card. I'm going to be wanting some Sunfire in my deck to get rid of that. You'll have to help the Morlocks hide. Surge. Give 1 Morlock ally a tough status card. Oh, so this is a good treachery. Boost. Give 1 Morlock ally a tough status card. Give the villain 1 additional boost card for this activation. I don't like that one, but at least it helps a little bit. In order to prevent a mutant massacre. This is the main scheme. Exhaust a Morlock ally, shuffle hide from the encounter, discard pile into the encounter deck. If there are 3 villains under routed, the player wins the game. Okay. If this stage is complete or there are no Morlock allies in play, the player loses the game. All right. So 3 villains wins it for us, and Morlocks will lose it for us. All right. So it seems like this is going to be, I'm sure if we keep reading, yeah, it's going to say it in a second. The campaign's second scenario, On the Run, also uses the Marauders, but in a completely different way. Interesting. So it looks like we're using the same villains. The Marauders have captured Hope Summers, Cable's adopted daughter, and they are now trying to get away. Unlike the first scenario, only 1 Marauder serves as the villain this time. Got it. Your goal is to defeat the one that is Hope's captor twice. Permanent. Confident. Never seen that before. When the villain would attack you, if a Marauder minion is engaged with you, the villain schemes instead. So it looks like we lose on the scheme if there's a lot of minions on us. Force interrupt. When the villain would be defeated, reset attached villain's hit points to its printed hit point value instead. Flip this card and reveal it. I don't know what the back of it says. So basically defeat a villain twice, just like you would on normal, while the other Marauders appear as minions that get in your way. Got it. After you defeat the villain once, they will begin to grow desperate. I guess this is when you flip it. The villain gets +6 health. All right. +1 scheme, +1 attack as well. Advance the main scheme to stage 2A. This effect cannot be canceled. When the villain would attack you, if engaged with the Marauder minion, the villain schemes instead. All right. Yeah, that's going to be hard. Keep on attacking the villain to stop them from escaping with hope. Here's probably the main scheme. Yep. We got 9 threat out. Each Marauder minion gains guard and steady. Yuck. Oh, that's gross. It's got guard. That means you can't even attack the main villain. In expert mode, the villain gets steady. If the villain is defeated, the players win the game. If this stage is complete, the players lose the game. So only one scheme, but it's got a fairly small thwart pool. All right. Here is the Juggernaut. Let's read what it says. The third scenario has facing off against the unstoppable Juggernaut. Let's just click it. Oh, no. All right, let's see what the main scheme is. 7 right here on the main. And starts at 1 acceleration. When this scheme would be completed, instead, do each of the following. Remove all threat from here. If Juggernaut Exposed is in play, flip it. Place 1 momentum counter on the Juggernaut. Juggernaut attacks each player in player order. Even if they're in alter ego form. Oh no. The Juggernaut truly is unstoppable. Okay, there it is. 1 scheme, 2 attack. So I thought we'd have 3, but here's where that 3 comes from. He gets +1 attack for each momentum counter. So basically, you cannot have this thread out to make him stronger. All right. When revealed, place 1 momentum counter here. Give Juggernaut. Oh, so it's going to start. So he is starting at a 3. And he gets a tough status card. All right. Worse, his signature helmet is equipped. Juggernaut's helmet. Permanent. Attached to the Juggernaut. Juggernaut gains Stalwart. And his attacks gain Overkill. So you can't even really thwart him or anything. So hero action. Spend 3 resources of the same type. Remove each momentum counter from the Juggernaut and flip this card. Let me read that again. Spend 3 resource counters of the same type. Spend 3 resources of the same type. Remove each momentum counter from the Juggernaut and flip this card. Okay. All right, hang on 1 second. Sorry, we're back. I assumed my daughter was knocking at the door, but I didn't actually see her. I'm sure you could have saw her in the crack of the door, but I just heard it. All right, I thought it was from downstairs. All right, so what were we doing? So I was getting a little distracted with the knocking. So this was permanent, attached to Juggernaut. He gains Stalwart and Overkill, which sucks. Spend 3 resources of the same type. Same type. That's going to be tough. Remove each momentum counter from the Juggernaut and flip this card. Okay. All right, at least we can deal with it. So he'll be immune to stun and confuse, and he gets Overkill. With all the power he wields, it may feel impossible to slow the villain down, but there is a way, spending 3 resources of the same type. You can rip the Juggernaut's helmet off, removing all momentum counters from him and leaving him exposed. Permanent. Attached to the Juggernaut. Juggernaut takes 1 additional damage from each card with a printed mental resource. Of course, because he's dumb. He's dumb. We attack him with mental strength. Force response. After the Juggernaut schemes, place 1 momentum counter on the Juggernaut. That's rude. I don't like that. Okay. And then flip this card. After the Juggernaut schemes, place 1 momentum counter. And so basically, you can't let him scheme. I see. So once his helmet is exposed, you're going to need to keep him confused if you want to flip, or you kind of just have to deal with him just attacking. It's kind of fun, though. All right. While he's exposed, Juggernaut takes extra damage from cards with mental resources printed on them, like the newly rescued Hope Summers. I guess this is what you get when something flips, right? Hope Summers. Setup. Oh, she just stays in the game. The first player controls Hope Summers. She does not count against your ally limit. Her base thwart and base attack are equal to the thwart and attack of your hero. If Hope Summers leaves play, we lose the game. Okay. All right. She's fine. He'll assist you for the rest of the campaign. Just make sure she doesn't wind up a captive. Hope Summers cannot ready. When revealed, exhaust Hope Summers. Got it. That's a side scheme. Acceleration counter. All right, so there's the Juggernaut, and then Mr. Sinister. 2 scheme, 1 attack, force. Well, let's just read it. After taking down the Juggernaut, it's finally time to square off against the mastermind that behind the plot to capture Hope, Mr. Sinister. 2 scheme, 1 attack. Force response. After a status card is placed on Mr. Sinister, place 1 threat on the main scheme. All right, so he doesn't have Stalwart, but he does punish you for giving him a status card. Befitting his tendency to incorporate other mutants' DNA into his own genome, Mr. Sinister gradually amasses new powers over the course of the scenario. Got it. With the power of flight, +1 attack permanent, attached to the villain. He gains aerial, attached villain, he gets overkill. Got it. He gains increased attack and overkill with super strength. He gains attack and steady. No! Steady. +1 attack. Attached villain gains the brute trait and steady. What the hell is brute? Do I not know about brute? Is that new? Steady characters require 2 status card types. Yeah, I know that already. What the hell is brute? With telepathy, he gains a boost to his scheme and retaliate. Permanent. Gains the psionic trait and retaliate 1. +1 scheme. Ooh, he's going to be tough, dude. The more powers he gains, the more Mr. Sinister's genetic mastery grows and the beginner threat he throws. Treachery. When revealed, if Mr. Sinister has the following traits, you can do, if he has aerial, take 2 indirect damage, brute, exhaust your identity, psionic, place 2 threat on the main scheme. Yeah, he's going to be tough. Once you've defeated Mr. Sinister, it's time to take on the boss of the final boss of the campaign, the cruel clone of Cable, Strife. So here's Strife. 1 scheme, 0 attack. Yeah, I wonder what the hell that's going to be. When Strife is attacking you, he gets +X attack, where X is the number of cards. Pause. I need to read this slowly. Dyslexia for the loss. Where X is the number of cards of the most common type in your hand. Got it. So whatever the most common type card you're holding is his attack. Oh, that's going to be rough with certain decks. As a powerful psionic, Strife is skilled at turning hero strength against them. There it is. Whenever he attacks, he gains bonus attack equal to the number of most common type card in your hand. The type of card refers to whether the card is an ally, event, resource, support, upgrade, or player side scheme. I'm curious about that player side scheme. When the hell are they going to talk about that? So if you have 3 allies and 2 upgrades in your hand, Strife attacks you with +3 because it's the 3 allies. Strife's power is already formidable enough on its own, but when Hope winds up in Strife's grasp, this is a side scheme, hinder +6. Oh, good God, it's got 10 threat on it. Hope Summers can attack only Strife and can thwart only this scheme. After Strife is defeated, or the last threat is removed from this scheme, flip this card and reveal Living Bomb. Place any threat here on Living Bomb. Oh, that sucks. All right. She tries to mimic his powers to escape and becomes overwhelmed. Strife's uncontrollable power. This is the main scheme. After resolving step 1 of the villain phase, each player places X threat here, where X is numbered to the cards of the most common type in their hand. That sucks. So he's going to put threat and attack based on that value. Each player may discard 1 card from their hand before calculating the value of X. So at least you have a little bit of wiggle room there. And for whatever reason, he looks like Batman here. Come on. Come on. Strife definitely looks like Batman over here. 9. That's it? That's not that a lot. All right. Can you stop Strife before he leaves you to your fate? Left to your fate. Strife gains Stalwart. Why wouldn't he? Each identity gets +2 hand size. I could live with that. Increase the resource cost to play each player card by 1. Kind of hate that. Kind of hate that. So I don't want that to flip. Oh, that's gross. That's disgusting. With such powerful threats and the crucial need to protect Hope, you will find some skilled heroes to come to your aid. Fortunately, NeXt Evolution comes with 2 powerful members of the X-Force ready to jump into the fray from the moment you open the box. We have Nathan Summers, a.k.a. Cable, with a 4 recovery. Hand size is 6, hit points of 12. Oh, very, very much healthy you are. You may include player side schemes from any aspect in your deck. I really want to see what that's all about. Search your deck and discard pile for a player side scheme and put it into play. Tell me what those are. You got a nice little line here of 2/2/2. After Cable defeats a side scheme, ready him. All right, the first of these is Nathan Summers, better known as Cable. We checked those out already. Even though his body is slowly being ravaged by a deadly technovirus, Cable is an unflinching leader who guides the X-Force on missions to take out threats before they can strike. As his alter ego abilities suggest, Cable is all about utilizing a new type of player card added to the expansion, player side schemes. Tell me what they are. Player side schemes represent missions that the heroes undertake to aid them in defeating the villain. You put them into play by paying their cost. I guess it's a 0. But just like you would any other player card, there's a limit to how many player side schemes can be in play at once. But after that point, they function the same as normal side scheme. These side schemes never actively hinder you, but if you manage to clear them, you net yourself some fantastic rewards. So let's take a look at one of them. Let's take a look at Cable's signature side scheme, Techno A. This is awful. I'm just going to read it from here. Characters other than Cable can now remove threat from the Technovirus Purge. It's got a 5 threat on it. While Technovirus Purge is in the victory display, he gains Psionic and 1/1/1. Oh, that's fantastic. Can take a while to clear, but once it's in the... Yeah, we read that. Player side schemes can appear in aspect cards as well, such as Call for Backup. All right, this is a leadership. Costs 1. It's got 3 on it. When defeated, each player may search their deck and discard pile for an ally and put it into play. Put it into play? Holy crap. Talk about powerful. That's insane. Like, I would include, like, crazy cost-heavy allies in my deck just for this card. Oh, that's borderline broken, and I love it. All right. Established perimeter. Cost 1. Only got 2 on it. Give each identity a tough status card. So basically, you're paying 1 for a tough status because a bunch of allies already have a base 2. You know, thwart. So that's actually really good. It's definitely not as broken as Call for Backup. The rest of Cable's kit is no joke either, with Body Slide, 0 cost event, change form. Each other player may change to the form you are in. Oh, cool. It's sort of like a flip. That's pretty dope. Allow each other identity to change with him, and precognition. He can stack the encounter deck in his favor. Tell me about that. 0 cost event. Look at the top X cards of the encounter deck, where X is the number of side schemes in the victory display. You may discard one of those cards and put the rest back in any order. All right, we got to get cards in the victory display though. You'll notice that cards like Precog, many of Cable's abilities scale to the number of side schemes in the victory display. This means events like Mind Scan, 2 cost event, remove 3 threat from a scheme, remove 1 additional threat from a scheme for each side scheme in the victory display. Telekinetic Blast, I'm assuming this is the attack version of it, 3 cost event, 6 damage, and then 1 for each in the victory display. Use Professor X. Is this a different professor? Oh, use Professor. 1 cost support. Alter Ego action, exhaust Professor. Choose to either draw 1 card or search your deck and discard pile for a player side scheme. That's cool. That's pretty cool. All right, and then once you run out of those, give the villain some Forced Amnesia. 1 cost upgrade. After a non-permanent side scheme is defeated, add Forced Amnesia and that side scheme to the victory display. Interesting. So that's how you get cards in the victory display. That's pretty cool. Add Forced Amnesia. And these are only side schemes in the victory display. Cool. Benefiting his position of leader of the X-Force, Cable comes to the game with a pre-built leadership deck calling on Caliban. I don't know the X-Force that well. 3 cost ally, 1 thwart, 2 attack, 3 health. After Caliban enters play, discard cards from the top of your deck until X Factor, X Force, or X Men ally is discarded. Add it to your hand. Kind of don't love it. Kind of don't love it. I'm sorry. To help you find Phantom X. 4 cost ally, 1 thwart, 1 attack, 3 health. You better do something good. After Phantom X enters play, search your deck and discard pile for Eva and put it into play. Okay, well, tell me what that is. 0 cost support. If Phantom X is not in play, discard Eva. Got it. Exhaust Eva and choose to remove 1 threat from a scheme, deal 1 damage to an enemy, heal 1 damage. Okay, yeah, that's dope. That's actually really good. Yeah, I love that. Cable is all about completing missions like mission planning. 2 cost event. Play only if there's a side scheme in the victory display. Until the end of the phase, allies you control do not take consequential damage. Ooh, love that. That's just like the Go for Champions card, but you can use it with anybody. And Uncanny X-Force, 2 cost support. Play under any player's control, max 1 team card per player. If each of your characters has the X-Force trait, each ally you gain gets +1 thwart and takes -1 consequential damage after thwarting. That's fantastic. You could essentially get somebody just thwarting for the rest of the game for free. All right. Not that Deadpool would care about it, but still, it's the thought that counts. So we're getting Deadpool, guys. This is definitely an ally, obviously. He's a basic ally. 3 cost ally, 2 thwart, 2 attack, 3 health. When Deadpool would be defeated by consequential damage, heal 3 damage from him instead. Oh, man, I was going to say he's straight up broken too, but add an acceleration token to the main scheme when you do that. Yeah, I'm not going to want to do that. That's terrible. That's terrible. All right, then we have Nina Thurman, a.k.a. a Domino. 3 recovery, 9 health, 6 hit points, so she's very, very weak. Choose a card in your hand. Swap that card with the top card of your discard pile. All right. 1 thwart, 2 attack, 3 defense, so she's got a nice defending ability there. When counting resources on... Pause, Rick. When counting resources on cards discarded from the top of your deck, count each printed wild resource twice. So I guess you're going to have to do something with counting resource cards. Choose a card in your hand. Swap that card with the top card of your deck. Okay. So she's playing on that roulette ability and chance. So it's kind of cool. All right. Joining Cable on the front lines is Nina Thurman, also known as Domino, with her power to manipulate chance in her favor. She can swap a card from her hand with the top card of her deck once per round. This is already handy enough since you might wind up with the exact card you needed, but there's another use for this trick. Many of Domino's signature cards, such as Diamondback, all right, 2 cost ally, 1 thwart, 2 attack, 2 health. Exhaust Diamondback, deal 1 damage to her, discard the top card of your deck. Deal 1 damage to each enemy for each resource icon discarded this way. But that's only going to be 1, though, right? I mean, I guess it could be 2, but... Discard the... Yeah, seems fine. Causing you to discard the top card of your deck, gaining different or scaling up different. Oh, what's that? Okay, maybe I was wrong. I apologize. Depending on how many... Okay, let's take a look at Good Workout. I apologize. What does this do? This is a 2 cost event. Deal 4 damage to an enemy and discard the top card of your deck. For each resource icon discarded this way, deal 1 additional damage. But they usually only have 1. Am I missing something? Luck be a lady. All right, 1 cost event. Discard the top card of your deck and count the resources on it. For each resource counted this way, if it is a energy, heal 2 damage. Mental, remove 2 threat. Fist, deal 3 damage. Wild, choose any one of the above. Yeah, but like they usually only have 1. I guess it's maybe you want to stack. I don't know. Like maybe you obviously you're gonna put. Oh, maybe you want like the power of cards. It could be the only thing I'm thinking of. If you use Domino's ability to swap a card from your hand with the top card of the deck, then you know exactly what resources will be on that card. Right, yeah. And the best part, the other ability on Domino's hero card lets you count wild resources twice. Ah. I see. Got it. Got it. Fun fact, 14 of Domino's 15 signature cards have wild resources on it. It all makes sense now. Got it. I was waiting for that. You should have said that first. Use Domino's pistols. It's got to be a weapon upgrade, right? Yep. 2 cost upgrade, restricted. Exhaust Domino's pistol. Choose an enemy and discard the top card of your deck. Deal 1 damage to that enemy for each resource icon discard this way. And it gets ranged. So now that I know that the wild counts twice, it's really good. Take advantage of your probability field to boost your basic powers. 2 cost upgrade. When you use a basic power, discard the top card of your deck. You get +1 for each resource icon discarded this way. So if it's a wild, you're going to get, 3/3/3. And call him Pip the Pug. Oh, I love you. 1 cost support. I'm definitely playing Domino just for you. Exhaust Pip the Pug. Put 1 Domino or Posse card from your discard pile on the top of your deck. Interesting. If you ever discarded something that you ended up needing. Oh, cool. So you would discard cards and use Pip to bring them back. Cool. Now, most people expect you to hit the jackpot. Oh, my God. There it is. There it is, everybody. Ladies and gentlemen. You count 3 resources. After this card is discarded from the top of your deck, shuffle it back into your deck. Fantastic card for Domino. This is so cool. So cool. You can hit the jackpot only once in their lives, but Domino being Domino could turn up lucky again and again. Very cool. Very cool. As a hero experienced in solving problems in her own way, she comes to the deck with a pre-built Justice deck using Wolfsbane. 3 cost ally, 2 thwart, 1 attack, but you got a little icon there, so we're going to see what it says. 3 health. After Wolfsbane's thwarts, name a card type, discard the top card of your deck. If that card is a name type, you may add it to your hand. Oh, cool. So it's sort of like Cosmo, but beneficial no matter what. Oh, and you'd know what it was because of your Domino ability. Very cool. Then use that resource from that card to help you pay for team investigation. 2 cost event. Alliance players can pay for this cost as a group. That's kind of interesting. 2 costs per player. Remove 3 threat from a side scheme. All right, yeah, it's fine. Sure, why not? It's fine. It's interesting that it's 2 costs per player. Oh, and then it removes 3 threat per player. Okay, that's kind of cool. That's actually very good. I've been playing groups a lot, so that's very good actually. Use the big burst of threat removal from Team Investigation to finish off take out the guards. Here's a player side scheme. I was waiting for the Justice one. 0 cost, 4 threat. Each player may discard 1 non-elite minion from play. Fantastic. Love it. And then thwart 2 side schemes once with Overwatch. Overwatch is old, but it's got a new picture on it. All is new in the world. Yes, this is an old card, but it's actually one of my favorite cards. Then once the villain's schemes are under control, call on members of your posse, including Outlaw. 3 cost allies is a Domino signature ability card. 1 thwart, 1 attack. You got a little star there. We'll see what that is. 3 health. You got it tough. Let's go. Let's go, Outlaw. When Outlaw attacks, discard the top card of your deck. Outlaw gets +1 attack for each resource discard this way. Cool. Very cool. I'm saying cool a lot. I'm so sorry. Not cool. White Fox. Basic ally. 3 ally. 1 thwart, 1 attack. 3 health. Response. After White Fox is discarded from the top of your deck, put her into play under your control. All right. I like that. So she's really good with Domino and Domino herself, and show the villain that posse isn't to be trifled with. 2 cost event. Max 1 per deck. Play only if you control at least 3... Pause. Play only if you control at least 3 characters with the posse trait. Heal 1 damage from each posse character and ready them. This card is good, but the odds of having all 3 of them out are very low. So I guess just like Domino, risk reward, right? All right, X-Force Inbound. As with every Marvel Champions expansion, the next evolution marks the beginning of a new wave of hero packs. There will be 4 hero packs this time around, and each of them star an iconic member of the X-Force. We'll go over these heroes in time, but here's a little sneak peek at here's to come. Can you guess the villain's sinister plot? Can you stop the villain's sinister plot to save Hope? Take on new challenges with the X-Force when NeXt Evolution hits the shelves in August. August, come on. Ugh. So far away. Okay. So let's play this game. Who are these heroes? Okay. My buddy Rob, that I play with a lot, says that he thinks this is X21. Right? That's her name? X21? Right? I don't read X-Force, but she's like the girl version of Wolverine, right? Is it X21? Am I wrong? Am I an idiot? Yeah, what the hell's her name? Let me see. I'm looking it up right now. What is her name? X23. Ha ha! I don't read X-Force. I'm sorry. So he thinks that this is X23 and that she's eating an apple with her adamantium claw, which I could see. He and I kind of both agree this has got to be Deadpool, right? This has to be Deadpool. Deadpool is going to come, and this has to be Deadpool. This isn't Deadpool because of the hair. So this has to be Deadpool. He said he was hoping that this is Multiple Man. I think it could also be Sunfire. Sorry, Sunspot. And I think this is Hope. I'd like it to be Psylocke, but I think it's Hope. But what do you guys think? So we just went over all those. Dropped, a message down in the comments. Do you like these? Do you don't like these? I'm very excited because they're finally getting new content. I think Domina's very cool and has a very unique ability and, random and chance. Cable just seems very strong. So I like them both. I do like them both. And I'm really looking forward to the Juggernaut. He seems like a really, really fun fight. And I think it's a little, I don't want to say cheap, but the fact that you have to use the Marauders once and then you kind of get the same fight back to back, it's a little weak. It's a little weak. That's the word I want, weak. But I'll take anything at this point. Inject me with new content into my veins. But I'm very excited. I hate that we have to wait till August, but I do think something's going to come out between then and now. At least a hero pack. It's got to be a hero pack. There's no way we're going to go from April to August without anything, right? So I think we probably see at least one more hero pack before then. Got to be an X-Men character, right? At least that's what I'm thinking. What do you guys think? Let me know. Take care.